Hello, my name is Rodrigo Andrade. I'm performance coach. Talk about myself. I started my career 25 years ago. Yes, it's a long time ago. I started as a student in a university in Rio de Janeiro when I was with 19 years old. And, you know, as most of the Brazilian kids, young people, we always dream to be a soccer player. And the way I found to make my dream come true was through the university studying, and I fell in love with performance training. So study was the only possibility I had to be close to my passion, the football. In 2000, I started to work in Vasco da Gama, and it was like it's a funny story because I'm a Flamengo supporter since I was born, and I end up to work in Vasco da Gama. The place, like, it's really special to me to talk about Vasco because there was the basement I had now to be the strength coach or performance coach. I was made there in Vasco. I spent in Vasco like many years, 8 years of my life as a trainee, later as a coach. I had opportunity to do many things in the club as a coach for kids, as a fitness coach for kids, coach goalkeeper, and they later worked with the adults, with the senior athletes. That was the best school I had in my life. So after the whole experience I had in Vasco, I got my first opportunity to work abroad in Kuwait, in Qadsiya Club. And that's also, I have a lot of good feelings and love from the club, from Kuwait people, because that was my first opportunity abroad out of Brazil. And without of support, the people there, the Kuwait people, my athletes in Qadsiya, for sure, I wasn't here this time. Yeah, working in Qadsiya, I spent 4 years there, and really like amazing time. We got a lot of titles. We got champ. We had opportunity to participate in ACR twice. It was super to me to be there and like live that days there with the people who really make me be better as a coach and as a person. Unfortunately, the things like the cycle finish with the Qadsiya club. Then I back to Brazil. I back to work in Rio de Janeiro, in Botafogo, but for a very short period, because in the season 15-16, I had another great experience when I got an offer to work in Zamalek club in Egypt. And about Zamalek, it was also a kind of funny story because I got an offer through a friend of mine, his agent, and he contacted me. He called me and said, "Hey, I have an amazing offer to you to work in Egypt." And oh wow, yeah, Egypt. I always was dreaming to work in Egypt, not to work, but to be in Egypt for the cultural stuff. And he said, yes, one of the biggest clubs in Africa. Now, all right, yeah. But I'm not much into the football out of Brazil. I like Flamengo. I like to watch the Brazilian league. And even Europe, I'm not much into it. And then the guy said, yes, you're going to have an opportunity to work in Zamalek. And oh wow, yeah, I'm not familiar. And then the guy said, are you crazy? How you don't know Zamalek? I said, I'm sorry, I'm not much into it. I like the stuffs of the real stuff for fitness, for science behind the field, but not to watch like a real fan. But that's turned my life because one time when I reached Egypt, I could feel how much passion the Egyptians are for football. And the Zamalek fans, they are super, something like magical, how they treat me since the beginning. All the Egyptian people, I fell in love again. Let's say I fell in love many times in my sport life. Yeah, and alhamdulillah, in Zamalek, I also had I was blessed to reach our target, to be champion. And it was really, really, really special time there. And one more time, it's a cycle. Then that's finished. And after Zamalek, I went to Hilal Sudan for a short period. Super glad to work with the Sudanese people. Was amazing time there, but for short, very short period, like 6, 7 months. We got champion Sudanese league. It was really special, but the connection was a bit shorter because the time was short. Then after Hilal Sudan, I back to Brazil. Been like a few months, I got a different offer. The offer came from China, and it was to work with the Chinese Olympic Committee. It was really challenging to me because at that moment, my entire career, I was working only with the football and futsal, and beach soccer also. But that was more the challenge, to work with the players out of the 4 lines. And I can say it was one more big school in to my life, to my professional life, to be with the Chinese people there, the way they are so strict, how they like to train it, they are not complaining, they just do it. I can say I improved a lot, like more than 50% of my career after China. Unfortunately, in China, we faced with the COVID. It was season 1920, and we are there at that moment. And the things got like worse, as everyone knows. The borders start to get closer. And in the end of the season 1920, that's June 20, we had to decide if we like to stay in China, to keep going with the project. It was 2 projects, the Beijing 2022 and Tokyo 2020. And I had to quit at that moment. But I'm really glad she's here from China, because it was really special to me. And after this period out of China, it was a very short period. I back to Brazil, and I went to work in one club in the 2nd division, in Rio de Janeiro football club. That club was, the manager was, I cannot say manager, but who was the big boss, let's call it that, was Bebeto, the legend Bebeto. And I had the opportunity to work like a little bit with him, because I got an offer to come to UAE for our lovely club, Khorfakkan. The opportunity to work Khorfakkan came through one of my athletes. I made a friend, an athlete I made in Kuwait, like 5 years earlier. I was coaching that guy, and he gave me the contact to be here right now. So how God, it's like making the best for us. And I'm super, super happy here. This year, I'm completing 5 years in UAE, 5 years working for Khorfakkan Club. And I'm really happy to live in the city, really happy to work here in the club. It's how the kindness of the people around me, the people who works with me, the people on the streets, it's like it's magical. It's magical. I'm talking for myself and also for my family. My whole family love to come here to Khorfakkan. Every year they come here for the city, for the atmosphere in the club, and it's special to work in a club who supports me the whole time. For everything I needed, I can have. I had that in China. That's the 2nd biggest sport team in the planet, and I have it here. That support, and this is really special to me. One more time here, I had the chance to get champion, to be happy. I've been in contact with many different people here, people from the track and field, people from the cycling. It's like a multiple club. It's really a sport and cultural club who is teaching me and giving me opportunity to teach. And then I I have to say thank God to put these amazing people in my life. I'm really happy and glad to be here. And I can't see myself out of here. And like this guy here, yeah, to put here in my life. I couldn't make this interview without you. Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, and the support the club is giving to me, also, it's helping us. The most special thing that I have here is the combination with the knowledge and with the technology. Now in the club, we are, can say, like we are on the top of the clubs in UAE with the technology. So since the heart rate variability, we control the fatigue with the athletes. We have the control of the metrics on the courts, how they are running, how tired they are, how the things of their performance and health, we can keep control. And the technology, it's giving a lot of support. So in everything you're doing, since with even if you start with the strength training, here we are doing the strength training controlled by the velocity-based training. So it's through the technology. We need that. Our reaction training, we use the technology. We have a system to work with that. So it's important. That's the future of the sport. The technology is supporting. It's not saying the technology or the AI is taking out the coach. No, that's not possible. We need the feeling. The AI, there's no feeling. We have the feeling. But it's giving a lot of support. It's not only here with our sports, futsal. Also, I've met the cycling coach, and he showed me also putting the technology in his training. So my advice for the coach, for the club, UAE, it's like to trust, get into the technology, because this can make a lot of improvement for your athletes. Well, okay, from my side, if I have to say something, the most important would be strength training. Yes, one day you're gonna get old, you'll be Sheba, and you need muscle. Yeah, so it's the investment, the best investment you can do to yourself. Of course, cardio training, take care about your heart, your joints and mobility, stretching, everything's important. But looking forward and thinking about the elderly people, I give it advice to, strength training. Well, to talk about the way I convert to Islam is not so short. I will try to make it in the short way to understand, because it's like a long story, I'd say long, beautiful story. But it starts not when I came here to UAE or when the first time to Kuwait. Following the signs of Allah, as a kid, as a 7, 8 years old, so far what I can remember, I was like almost daily faced with the dream. And in that dream, I was walking. It's complicated to explain everything like here, but you can just try to create the picture or move your mind. I was a kid living on an island. Okay, that's not the dream. That was the truth. I was living on an island, and in my dream, I was walking to the Corniche. And when I reached the Corniche, I saw one of those bridges made by wood and rope. And that bridge was going to the top of a mountain. In that mountain, I was like going by the bridge, and I reached the top of the mountain. I was looking down, and I saw a lot of people dressing white and like walking. Okay. As a kid, that was just a dream. I never was afraid for that. It was something really okay to see that. Actually, I don't know exactly what I was feeling, but sure, I wasn't afraid. Well, years ago, as I spoke to you, I went to Egypt, yeah, and I had one really funny guy. His name is Mila. He was one of those guys working, taking care about the uniform of the players, always know about everything, super kind and really funny. I think all the Egyptians are funny. And he was calling me Abdullah. And always saying Abdullah, Abdullah, Abdullah. He said, your name now it's Abdullah. And I accepted that. At that moment in Egypt, he several times invited me, you like to pray with us? And I said, no, I'm no Muslim, but no problem. Just come together, stay with us, try to enjoy it. And I did for a few times the pray with them, but without the knowledge and without know exactly how what's going on. The time go in Egypt, I didn't make my conversion there. And okay, I kept going. I was living in China, for the period. And one moment when I arrived there, I was in the city of Hailar. Okay, it's the north of China. And beside the place I was living, I had a mosque, the Chinese. And I thought with myself, wow, what are they allowed to have a mosque here? I didn't knew it. And I got curious. I make some step approach to the mosque. I try to talk with the Muslim people there, but of course they doesn't speak Arabic. My Arabic is not amazing, but at that moment I knew a few words, but it wasn't possible to be more connected. And one moment when I reach here in UAE, and this I have clear in my mind, we had a match against Diba Hassan. In that match, we lost the match. On the way back home, I was with my wife by my side in the car, and we decided to stop in a place to eat, just to stress release. And I saw there is one place in Diba. It's called in the mountain. It's like a food truck area. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the name, but I decided to go there with my wife. Then I entered with the car, and when I reached the place, I saw the place I was dreaming when I was a kid. I saw that scenario. The people in white, not exactly the same because that area has food trucks and stuff, but I realized that was a sign in my life. One of the signs in my life. Okay, immediately I start to cry because I saw the place I was dreaming, and I saw the people in white walking, and I realized it's just like the Condora. It wasn't something like the hello. No, it was Condora. And I start to cry. I decided to not stay there. And my wife, she starts, what are happening? Then I spoke to her, what are happening? I seeing the place I've watching my dreams when I was a really kid. Okay, I back home, was feeling emotionally, like really from inside, nothing related with the match, because I know how to win, I know how to lose. I used to both. So I back in the house, and at the prayer time, at the Fajr prayer time, I woke up. Not because I need to pray. I just woke up that time. I hear the mosque calling, and I took my phone. When I opened my phone, I had a message from Coach Anwar. And Coach Anwar, he sent a really kind message. He sent a message in Arabic, everything in Arabic. And I translate. And the message he sent to me was talk about Islam. It feels like he knew it, what I had in my heart that night. But of course, he didn't knew it. But that message he sent to me was the final touch. And then I started the process to get know better and more about Islam. Coach Anwar with another person, a very special person in my life, Coach Abu Basr, and he introduced me more people, Mr. Ismail, and then came the process till I convert to Islam. I am Muslim, but I know it's now a bit more than 2 years, and I need to learn more. It's daily. A lot of judgment from people in my family, friends, like people around me can judge me. But I know the only one who can really judge me, it's Allah. Yeah, Well, give advice is something, okay, can be kind of simple to say, okay, do sports, okay, walk, strength training, yeah. But probably the most important thing I can say to you, and even to the coach, all right, because it seems like it's easy just to give order and say to your athlete, do this, do that, yeah, but it's not. The best thing I can say to you, your body, it's like a cards. You have a bunch of cards in your hand. Yeah. And if you look to your side, maybe have another guy really in shape, yeah, super fit, but you're not that. Because the guy has different cards. What matters depends what you do with the cards you have in your hand. Because some people has this genetic, like, amazing. And that's make it easier. Some people, like me, my genetics not that amazing. And I know the cards I have in my hand. And if I not to play smart with the cards I have in my hand, I'll be in trouble. So look to yourselves, check the cards you have in your hands, okay? And think about it before you decide to eat healthy or eat on junk food. Look to your cards. Go for something healthy. All right? I'm trying that. I'm trying to push myself. Sometimes I play stupid. It's normal. But that sometimes we cannot play stupid all the time. Okay? If you decide, be in the couch, sleep, or go for do some workout, sleep late or sleep early, back full of energy, do your work, look to your cards. Okay? And even that guy with the genetics is super amazing. God bless him with the amazing genetics, with the good cards. But if he plays stupid, one moment, he's gonna fall. So that's the best advice I give to you. Now we are surrounded of many information. As I said, here in the city, we have all the facilities. The condition is amazing. The atmosphere is pushing you to make more and more activities. So there is no excuse. Good cards or bad cards, you know how to play. You know what's right and what is wrong. So I'd like to thank, first of all, thank God. Always, alhamdulillah. Thank you, Sofyan, for the opportunity. All right. Thanks for our president, Mr. Saling, Mr. Khalid Marat, our manager, to allow me to be here at this. I don't like to be in cameras. I don't think I'm looking good, but I'm really glad to have this opportunity to talk for the community, talk for the coach, for my athletes, and thank for the city, for the people of Khorfakan, people of UAE. Thank you very much.